Why are some people world champions, have a successful business, are really happy, are healthy, fit and strong, wake up every day loving their lives? They have a life of excellence, success, and I call it living life to the max. Why is it that some people live really average lives? And why is it that some people are miserable, grumpy, they hate their life, they're depressed, they don't want to get up in the morning? What's the difference in the headspace between those three different kinds of people? And I think where I'm standing right now can make a big difference. I'm standing in front of the library. And is it possible that if you are committed to excellence, if you're committed to being more than average, and average is somewhere between the worst and the best, is it possible that some people accept average, they put up with it, they expect it even? There's a great quote, we get what we expect, we get what we accept. So if you think all you can ever have in your life is average, is it possible that's what you'll get? But why is it that there's some people that would never accept average? There's some people that strive every day to be the best at what they do, whether they are a sports person or a business person or a parent, a teacher, a coach. There are people who just want to be really good at what they do, whatever it is that they do. And is it possible that if you put average stuff into your headspace, that only average will come out? If you only put in an average effort, if you put in 40%, 50%, 60% effort into what you do, is it possible that that will then showcase in your life? You'll only have an average life. The reason I ask that is I get disappointed every day. There's a great quote that says, discipline your disappointment. And that's something I have to do every single day, is discipline my disappointment. Because I'm the owner of an education college. People come to me and they share, I want to be an exercise professional. I want to have my own business. I want to choose my own hours, live my life my way. I want to earn the amount of money that I want to earn. I want to work with the people that I want to work with. I want to be successful. So that's what they say. So the words sound excellent, but they don't back up the excellent words with excellent action. Now that's not a judgment, that is an observation. And some people are even honest. There's a lot of people that share with me, I do just enough to pass the test, just enough to get the right answers to the quiz. I have people who say to me at our college, because we don't have tests or exams or assessments, we have knowledge checks and some basic quizzes. And the quizzes in our program are not designed to test your knowledge. They're to make sure that you put the information into your head. So you can watch a diploma session. We have a top-level business diploma, an international business diploma, and we specialise in helping people have their own business or successful career as an exercise professional. Now, there's a side note there that I think is really important. If you're going to be in business, sell a product or a service, or if you're going to be an exercise professional, which is even more important because you're going to be helping people to be healthy, fit and strong, people are going to put their life in your hands. Should you have capable hands? I'll use an outsider's point of view because I get a little bit upset. Well, I have to discipline my disappointment because a lot of people actually share with me they don't want to be the best at, or they don't want to have the best knowledge. A lot of people say this, I know it already. There's a serious challenge with saying I know it already. I've been an exercise professional all of my life. I started teaching classes when I was 13 years of age. I've never done anything else. I study every day. I do a minimum of 2 hours of learning every day. And all I can share with you is I don't know very much. I'm studying every day, learning every day, training every day, educating every day. And the more I learn and train and educate, the more I realise what I don't know and how much I've got to learn. But I deal with people every day who say, I know that already, I've heard that before, I just need the bit of paper. And of course that's very disappointing, which is why I have to discipline my disappointment. But this is a challenge, a really important challenge. If you want to help people to have a career or business that they love, if you want to help people to be healthy, fit and strong, if you want to help people to be financially free, and if you want to help people to have great relationships, which is what I do every day, wouldn't it be extremely irresponsible of me, rude, disrespectful, to not study those things every day and not aim to get the very best, the very latest knowledge, the in-depth knowledge on all of those things? Because how on earth then could I teach that stuff if I don't live it, learn it, educate it, train it every single day? So if I pass that same question on, if you are an exercise professional and people come to you because they want to lose weight, get fit, be healthy, have a stack of energy, they're unhealthy at the moment and they want to change their lifestyle so they've got the energy to do all the things that they want to do they not have the right to expect that you, as an exercise professional, a qualified person, will know what you're talking about. You'll understand anatomy, physiology, exercise programming, nutrition, all the systems of the body. I get really embarrassed, and I don't ask this question anymore, because I have exercise people, I wouldn't call them professionals, who, if I ask them how does the endocrine system work, or how does the skeletal and muscular system work to make people fit and strong, cardiovascular, respiratory system, how does the digestive system work so that when you eat food, you know that you're getting the right nutrition, so you've got the energy to do the things that you want to do. A lot of people that I ask that question, and I don't ask anymore because I get embarrassed to the answer, because I either don't know the answer, or they make some stuff up, or they regurgitate what they've heard from somebody else. And now we live in a world where people are asking a robot. They're asking AI to give them the answer. As an educator, this is going to be a really interesting challenge going into the future. We have students now who just get AI to do everything. And it's one of the interesting things about our program. You can't become a qualified Max exercise professional or get an international business diploma from Max using a robot or using AI or using any kind of social media, because we've designed the program that you have to think for yourself. You have to know your anatomy and physiology for yourself, because the group think of exercise, which is AI, robots, Google, or social media, people's opinions on how to be healthy, fit and strong, often don't coincide with how the human body actually works. And that's the big thing about our program. I want people to be able to analyze what a robot says, analyze what AI says for themselves, and work out, is it true? It's interesting because if you ask AI anything, there'll always be a side note that says, this may not be true, this may not be a fact. AI doesn't always tell the truth because it doesn't always know the truth. It's just a collection of group think. So how would you know that if you don't study your anatomy and physiology for yourself? I don't understand people who don't want to be the best at what they do. And whether that's a bus driver or a gardener or a housekeeper or a doctor or a lawyer or an exercise professional or a sporting coach or a dance instructor or a martial arts instructor, pick anything. Why would you do something if you're not passionate about it? And if you're really passionate about it, don't you want to be the very best at it? Don't you want to learn and train and educate to keep getting better? That's what I do every single day, because I'm so excited about people being healthy, fit and strong. And I'll share as a very personal story. My father sent me to private boarding school in Melbourne, Australia to become a lawyer. He wanted me to earn lots of money as a lawyer. I found out at 13 years of age that my passion was for being fit, being strong, being healthy, and I wanted to help other people to feel as good as I did. So this has been my driving force all of my life. So I cannot understand people that have a lousy, stinking, rotten job to pay their lousy, stinking, rotten bills. I have no understanding of that. I know there are people who live like that, but I just don't want to live like that. I never have. But because I'm so passionate about how the human body works and wanting to learn more, that is my driving force every single day. What can I learn? I get excited at the end of the day. My husband and I do this every day. What did I learn today? Why am I excited about today? What did I do today to make today an amazing day? And for me, as I always share, my mantra is learn, laugh, huff, puff, lift. I have to learn every day. It's my driving force because I want to be the best at what I do. Again, if somebody puts their life into my hands, and I have that, people's lives are determined by their financial success, their relationship success, how healthy, fit and strong they are, what kind of career or business they have. And that's why people come to my college. So I have people who put their life in my hands. Now, it's not my responsibility to make them successful or healthy, fit and strong or have a career or business that they love, but I need to make sure that they're getting the right information. And one of the big things we do here at Max is never what you have to think, how to think. The really important thing at Max is think for yourself. How do you work this out for yourself? And you can't do that if you don't understand anatomy and physiology. You can't do that if you don't understand the fundamentals of running a business or having a successful career. You can't do that if you don't understand the fundamentals of wealth creation. You can ask a robot, but the robot's just going to give you group think. It's just going to be a collection of the world's thoughts. And when you have a look at how the world lives, the world is fatter, sicker, weaker, more diseased and more depressed than it's ever been. There are more people struggling for money, financially broke, out of work or hate their job, people in lousy relationships. The world is not a happy place. How many people do you know that are very healthy, fit and strong, full of energy, never get sick? They love their career or business. They're financially free, so they never have to worry about money, and they've only got great people in their life. I think that that's like a unicorn. It's a rare creature, and if you find one of those creatures, you should study it, which is what I'm doing every day. I study everything that I can get my hands on about those 4 topics. So this is my challenge. If you are an supposed expert in any area, what are you doing every day to train, get better, educate, keep learning about the thing that you're passionate about? Or are you accepting average? Are you thinking it's okay to just pass the test? And because I have to deal with this every day, at Max, we don't have tests, we don't have exams. It's all open book. What we want you to do is to be able to learn, understand, have the knowledge to be able to help people to be healthy, fit and strong for the rest of their life. And if you don't know your anatomy and physiology, if you just do enough to get by, if you just do enough to pass the test, how can you possibly be trusted with somebody's human body? And sadly, people will trust you, won't they? If you've got a ripped abdominals or a nice personality, or you're a lovely person, or you work in a gym, people will trust and believe that because you've got a piece of paper that says you are an exercise professional, that you know what you're talking about. If you go to a doctor or an accountant or a car mechanic, you expect that they know how to fix your challenge because they've done the study and training and education to be able to help you fix that challenge. Well, we deal now every day with medical professionals, for example, who do just enough to get their medical degree. So when you go to see them, it's not that they understand how the human body works. And the reason I know that is that medical professionals argue all the time about the same thing. They argue about how the endocrine system works. Some of them don't even know how the endocrine system works, and yet they call themselves a medical professional. And I'm using the endocrine system on purpose because it's the thing that controls everything that happens in your body. Your hormones control absolutely everything. Your sleep, your hunger, how you feel, your emotions, your muscle gain, how your head feels, your mental health. Everything's determined by hormones. So if you don't understand the endocrine system, for example, you can't possibly be able to help somebody to be healthy, fit and strong. You can't help somebody be happy. You can't help somebody have a career or business that they love, because if you don't have a stack of energy, you don't have a brain that works, you can't go and get a career or business that you love. It's a very simple process to me. Keep learning. Never accept average. Never accept anything but the very best. But I don't like the word best, because best has got a limit to it. Oh, I'm the best means I can't get any better. I'm constantly learning, studying, training and educating because I want to keep my brain getting broader, thinking more clearly, thinking more critically, coming up with better solutions. Now, I've been an exercise professional all of my life, and the world's fatter and sicker and weaker than it's ever been. So obviously, whatever the world's telling the world to do to be healthy, fit and strong isn't working. So that's my constant driving force every day. What do I need to do, not just to get people to want to be healthy, fit and strong, but what can I do to live the example, educate people, make it as simple as possible? I want people to be healthy. So whatever you're doing, if you accept average, if you expect average, of course that's what you'll get. If you don't put in 100% effort, how can you possibly expect 100% result? To me, that's just ridiculous, stupidity. And I can say that because I'm an old lady, and I wish, and there's two sides to this, I wish that if you are an expert, or you call yourself an expert, that you keep training and educating. But if you expect your expert to know stuff, please test them, measure them, make sure that they do. Because most medical professionals, most exercise people, I can't call them professionals, most people that call themselves good at something haven't done it because it's their driving force and it's what they're passionate about. Most people are in a job to pay their lousy, stinking, rotten bills, which means they're not training and learning and educating, which means the information that you might be getting is not going to help you. So if you really want your life to be, and the 4 things that I talk about every day, if you really want to be healthy, fit and strong, if you really want to have a career or business that you love, that you wake up every day loving and enjoying and you're passionate about, if you want to be financially free, not struggle for money, and if you really want to have great relationships, why would you rely on somebody else? Why not learn for yourself or how all of those things work? And you might end up like me as an old lady who's constantly learning, constantly educating, constantly training, because I want to live my life to the max. How about you? Super duper doo, how are you? I want to live my life to the max, not average. I hate average. Yuck, average.